This is episode 17 of The Inside Line on Wisp Sports Radio. The Inside Line is the only podcast focused on women's alpine ski racing, coming to you year-round from the World Cup circuit and beyond. The Inside Line is a co-production of Ski Racing Media and Wisp Sports. I'm Gabby Hall, and at Wisp Sports, we believe women in sport deserve equal coverage. Welcome back, everyone. I'm really excited about this week's episode because we're going to catch up with some injured athletes and find out what's going on. You know, this week's guest is actually a familiar voice on the show, but she had her season cut short just days before the Olympic Games. You will be hearing from U.S. ski team's Jackie Wiles, who is in the midst of very intensive rehab, and we cover everything from what she's been doing in her downtime to the extent of her actual injuries, which were relatively severe. And she isn't alone. You know, many athletes missed the entirety of this past season and are slowly working their way off of crutches and onto the race course. So in this week's Fresh Tracks report, I've got a few updates for you. So one of the most notably absent athletes was Slovenia's Ilka Stujic. Now, you may recall that she tore her left ACL back in October, right before the Solden World Cup opener. You know, she was the downhill globe winner the year before. She was at the very least, in my mind, a favorite for a downhill medal at the Olympic Games this season, if not also in Alpine combined and potentially Super G. You know, the good news is that Ilka is back on snow now, and she's actually been getting her snow legs under her for, over a month now. I saw on Instagram that she was back on snow in February, and what that means for her is that she'll actually have a great long prep period going into 2018-19. So she'll hopefully, you know, if everything goes well, come back extremely strong for next season. And I'm hoping to have her on the show at some point so we can talk about it more intensively. But also I want to talk about the fact that she was on Dancing with the Stars Slovenia. If you don't follow her on Instagram, she posted a picture in the last couple of weeks. But I'm also putting a link to the YouTube video below in the show notes. So, you know, definitely take a couple minutes. And, it's pretty entertaining to see her doing something other than downhill skiing. And then we also have to discuss one of my previous guests, Marie-Michelle Gagnon from the Canadian team. Mitch suffered a left dislocated shoulder, a torn ACL, and had to get some sutures in her forearm. And this was back in December. And I can't remember if I mentioned in the episode right around when this happened, but I think it's kind of an interesting story about her. So her shoulder dislocation is actually a recurring problem. And she had surgery to correct that, hopefully permanently, after this injury. But according to stories around the finish area, she had actually popped her own shoulder back in before Ski Patrol could even take a look, which for some reason I think is really cool. Not great to have a recurring injury that's a dislocating shoulder, but I think it's pretty awesome that she just, popped her own shoulder back in, because that sounds incredibly painful to me. But she is working really hard to get back into full form. She's not back on snow yet, but, she seems to be doing well. I noticed at the 3-month mark, she said she was able to do a single leg squat to 90 degrees on her injured knee. She's out mountain biking and really active. She actually sent me some audio with a little update on how her recovery is going, and I'm going to play that for you now so you can hear it in her own words.
Hey, you guys. This is Marie-Michelle Gagnon speaking. I'm currently just shy of 5 months post-operation. I'm doing really well. I am able to jump and jog and hopefully do some more lateral work and stuff like that in the next few days. I've been working really hard on the physio side and rehabbing and also getting fit at the same time. Been crushing the bike test, just mountain biking a lot the last little bit. And yeah, I'm looking forward to be able to get back on skis by July. July 1st is our next planned camp as a team, and I should be able to go, I hope. That's my goal anyhow. And I would be 7 months post-op at that point. So based on the training and the assessments that I will get done in the next months, that will judge if I'm ready or not to get on hill, because I really want to make sure I'm very balanced and my muscles are equally strong on both sides, from the right to the left, hamstring versus quad. I really don't want to risk any more injuries or having any pain when I get back to skiing. I want to be really balanced and really feel completely normal, if anything, better than before. So yeah, I'm super excited, and I'm going to be becoming a speed skier in the next few years. So this is a new exciting challenge for me and something to look forward to. All right. Peace out. Bye-bye.
Perhaps we can do a follow-up with her too at some point to see how she's doing as she prepares for next season. Our third injury update is Jackie Wiles. And instead of listening to me tell you about her injury and rehab, we were able to connect on the phone. She's home in Oregon currently, and there was plenty to talk about, even though we didn't necessarily talk ski racing. And, for someone who has been injured, she has definitely kept busy over the last few months. So I'm really excited about this conversation, and I hope if anyone's injured out there and listening that it helps you find your own motivation for getting back out there. Hey, Jackie, how's it going?
Hi, Gabby. I'm great. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. How is the rehab going? How's your leg?
Rehab's going well. It's quite the journey so far, but just trying to work away at it every day and starting to see some good progress. So it's going well. Thank you.
So where are you at in the recovery process? I mean, when did you have surgery, and how far are you away from getting back on snow?
Yeah, I had surgery 10 weeks ago. I just got off crutches, which has been really exciting. It's nice. Yeah, it's nice to feel like I can do a lot more now and feel a little bit more independent. And I still have quite the ways to go, but at least I can be normal human again. So hopefully the plan is to get back on snow to do my return to snow drills and everything in November at Copper, and then hopefully racing by January. Of course, I'm trying to push that time frame up a little bit, but that's what I've been told. So that's kind of the goal right now.
So what ended up being the full scope of the injury? Because the scars on your leg are pretty gnarly. So I'm curious, what exactly was the full scope of the injury?
Yeah, it was crazy. When we were in Garmisch, the report that we got from the imaging at the hospital was half of what ended up actually being my injury. So it was kind of a shocker once I got to Colorado and had different imaging taken. So I ended up breaking my fibula, but the way it broke, I had nerve damage to my peroneal nerve, so I don't have a lot of dorsiflexion in my big toe, so I can't really move that up. So that part kind of freaked me out. But so with my knee, I had MCL, ACL, LCL, meniscus, or lateral meniscus, patella, POL, and then I had to do a tib-fib joint reconstruction. So I've learned a lot about the knee that I didn't know, with doing as much as I could. But yeah, it's been crazy to hear what they can repair these days. And they took my hamstring tendon to repair my MCL, quad tendon to repair my ACL, cadaver hamstring tendon for my LCL. And then with the tib-fib joint reconstruction, they took part of my hamstring again to repair that with a plate and 5 screws in my fibula.
Essentially, you have a new knee, it sounds like.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be stronger now.
Maybe they gave you superpowers during surgery, too.
Yeah, exactly.
Is this your first major injury of this scale? Have you ever had an injury that's been this extensive?
Yeah, this is definitely, I mean, as a skier, knee injuries are common. So yeah, this is definitely my first knee injury. So it really just went the whole way with it. I've had small little injuries, but yeah, nothing to this extent.
Wow. So, like you said, a knee injury is kind of a little par for the course, I guess, as a downhiller in particular. I mean, have you been getting any advice and support from your teammates as you're going through this process?
Oh yeah, I've been so lucky that I have so many great teammates, and they're my good friends, and they've been there since the moment it happened, and still reach out to me constantly. I've seen a couple of them since they've been back stateside, and having Loren have gone through a bad knee injury a year before me, it's been nice to ask her a lot of advice. Just because, yeah, this is such a new experience for me, and to this extent, it's just it's hard to understand everything that's going on, and it's been nice to ask her a lot of advice, and yeah, I've had a lot of teammates with bad injuries, so um, it's nice to have a lot of those resources to ask.
And you and Loren live in kind of the same area, right? I think I've noticed you guys like hanging out, doing some off-season stuff.
Yeah, she's in Bend, so she's only about 3.5, 4 hours, so it's not too bad. So sometimes I'll go over to Bend or she'll come over here. We had an event here that she came to for Olympians, so yeah, she came for a little bit.
It was a basketball game, right?
Yeah, the Blazers yeah, brought us to the game, so it was pretty exciting to honor all the Oregon Olympians.
I mean, I don't want to like throw salt in a wound here, but obviously the timing of your injury was not ideal. And I'm curious, you obviously didn't get to go to Pyeongchang after qualifying. And, what did you end up doing during that month of February? Because it looked like you were still doing some Olympic related things during that month, despite not being able to go to South Korea.
Yeah, the timing of it was excruciatingly heartbreaking and brutal. Just especially with having momentum, and I felt like I was skiing really well and starting to peak at a good time. And yeah, it's just hard. It's hard not knowing what I could have done there. But I mean, it is what it is. You kind of just have to wake up every day and have a positive outlook and choose to be happy. And yeah, there was some really hard days where I wasn't and I didn't want to be, and I felt like that was okay. But, still having the spirit of the Olympics and the support of so many people that reached out it was crazy, and it made me feel like, okay, yeah, this happened, but now I gotta get better. And um, just that love and energy from everyone, I think, is what's really helped me get through. And yeah, I spent a lot of time in Vail after surgery and with rehab, and Lindsay helped me out a lot being in Colorado. And so yeah, I've just felt like I've had a ton of support, and I think that's what's helped me really get through as well.
And so during the Olympics, I saw on social this like skier rehabs game thing, and I believe you told me Marie Michelle Gagnon put that together.
Oh yeah.
So I'm curious.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
It was hilarious. For anyone who hasn't seen this, if you go on Instagram, I'll link to it in the show notes. The skier rehab games happened briefly during the Olympics for a lot of the athletes who were injured. And so I'm curious if you can tell us what events you competed in the skier rehab games.
Yeah, it was pretty it was a good idea that Mitch had for all of us who were probably a little bit bummed and struggling with having to miss out on it. And it had already been going before I got involved in it, but so it was hard to do a lot of the things that they were going to do, but I was still able to do there's an autograph signing, like how quickly you could do a certain amount of cards, so that was fun. I think that's the only one I did, actually. But there was a lot. They did like cooking. I probably could have done that one. I don't know. I was so drugged that whole time. So that probably would have been dangerous with me in the kitchen with knives. But
no open flames and sharp utensils.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, they had a bunch of fun activities and events. So yeah, check it out. It was fun. It was cool that she did that.
It seemed like, I mean, when you talked about the importance of kind of the support that you had and people reaching out, it seems like something like that too also shows like how much camaraderie there is amongst the World Cup skiers who are injured. Like you're not going through it alone.
Yeah.
Other people are going through that.
Yeah, we could felt included in something, and still like we came together and had our own games. So yeah, that was really cool.
Does that feel like something that holds true like all the time, that there is this kind of international camaraderie, like supporting each other, and it's not just about like the US ski team, but do you feel that sort of camaraderie across countries on the speed side?
Yeah, I think what's so cool is with speed, each country really has their own tight-knit team. And it's what I love about our sport is not only do you get to travel to all these different places and explore the world, but you do get to meet a lot of people from all over. And it's been cool to get to know athletes from different countries as well. And yeah, I think, when someone gets hurt, everyone, reaches out to them and wishes them well, and hopes to see them back on the circuit, because you see everyone every week at a new venue. And yeah, it's cool to have friends from all over the world.
I'm curious with speed. I've kind of heard people mention this before, but there's this extra level of camaraderie in speed because of the danger involved, like almost an increased level of mutual respect because everyone's putting themselves at risk in a similar way.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, a lot of athletes can relate. Obviously, I've never done a tech World Cup, but yeah, it feels like with and thank goodness. But yeah, with speed, I think I've never thought about that, but I think you're right with that. Yeah, there is a lot of dangers, and we all know that going into it. But we all put everything out there on the table every time we race and go hard, and we know that there are those risks. So I think we can all relate in that way where when someone gets hurt, we really do feel for them. And for me, this experience has been very humbling because yeah, you see people get hurt all the time, and you're like, yeah, I wish you well, but until you really go through it, I don't think you really understand what they're going to be going through. So it's a whole new level of understanding for me, and like I said, it's definitely been quite humbling.
And obviously, being injured sucks. There's no getting around that. But it brings to mind the cliche, like when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. And I'm curious if you've been able to do anything, in the last couple months that you wouldn't have been able to do if you had been finishing out the World Cup season and going to the Olympics. I mean, I know a lot of it's you've been on crutches and in surgery and all those things, but have you been able to do anything different that might have made you, happy that you were able to do it?
Yeah, I've been able to just enjoy being in Oregon more. Especially the past 4 or 5 years, being on the road so much and not really having a ton of time at home. Even in the summer, we go to Park City, so it's been nice to have a real block of being at home. I've been able to catch up on a lot of books I've been wanting to read. I've been cooking a lot more, which is what I love about being home. Just seeing family and friends. Being able to, I've always been wanting to pick up the guitar just because I just love the soulfulness, and so I've been able to put a little time towards that and just kind of enjoy music. But yeah, just kind of relaxing. Yeah, like you said, I can't do much, so just kind of enjoying a little bit of downtime, even though I'm doing a lot, which it's been blowing my mind how tired this makes me. I'm so used to being active and moving a lot. And even though I'm not, I'm so tired. And I'm sure the first block was a lot of just because of the drugs and how much my body was really going through. And, but yeah, just understanding the healing process has made me so tired a lot. So just it's been nice to give into that and sleep a lot. So yeah, I guess I can have an excuse to sleep a lot right now.
That's pretty good lemonade.
Yeah.
Do you have any book recommendations? Like, what have you read that's good?
I just finished A Wrinkle in Time because they had a movie coming out, and so it's like, oh, I want to read that book, and I really liked it just because it's written in a time, before that type of thinking of the future really was happening. So, just the style of writing I have to see the movie now. I really want to, but I love reading books and then watching the movies. Obviously, the books are always better, but I really like that one. And then I, of course, have a lot of just like athletes, self-help, those type of like learn something, takeaway books. I'm just about to start The Mindful Athlete. I've heard that one's really good. So yeah, nothing too exciting, but yeah, I still have a big stack of books that I've been wanting to get around to as well.
I know. I feel like we all have them next to our bed, so
it's exactly
nice
it.
You finally have an opportunity to pick one up.
Yeah, but I struggle because every time I read at night, I just fall asleep. Like at least it helps me fall asleep, but I only get through a couple pages and I'm like, I don't even remember what I read. I need to go to bed. So I gotta do it in the morning.
And then since you brought up cooking, I'm curious, like, what's your favorite thing to cook?
I love cooking curries. Like I love putting a bunch of vegetables and chicken and making homemade curries. And then I also really like breakfast scrambles, like a bunch of veggies and eggs and sweet potatoes. Yeah, I love sweet potatoes. They're like my go-to. And then I just love like making my own creations of smoothies as well. And I have a sweet espresso machine, so I love making like hot concoctions with that. So yeah, had a lot of time to explore and make
Fancy.
weird things. So it's been fun.
Well, if ski racing doesn't work out long term, you can always open a cafe, it sounds like, with delicious breakfast scrambles.
Yeah, there you go. I'm in the right spot too in Portland.
Yes. Oh, totally. Those hipsters
They're
will totally
everywhere.
buy in.
Yeah. So many hipsters.
So if you're going to come back to snow in January, do you have like a venue in mind that you're like really hoping to make your comeback at?
It's really hard to say because I am still pretty fresh into this. So I really don't know exactly when I'll be able to, whether that is in Lake Louise or if it is mid-January in Cortina. Obviously I want to be back mid-January. I don't want to, that would be brutal to still not be racing at that point. So, I mean, I really just don't know yet. It's still too far away, but I know that I think I'll be able to get strong enough by the time ski season starts, somewhat strong enough. But I think with all the repairs I had, that all my ligaments and tendons still are going to need a lot longer. So with it, I don't have to rush back to like Loren did for the Olympics. So I think I just need to take it easy, not with the extent of what I had done. I can't push it, and because I just don't have a lot of real estate to take more, tendons to repair my ligaments from, unless I go into my other knee. So I have to really be smart about this and think about my future long term. So I don't want to rush it too back, but obviously I'm already eager and wanting to be back, but just got to have some patience.
For sure. And I mean, it seems like, timing will obviously totally depend on your rehab, but it seems like, Cortina, just because you've had a lot of success there in the past, would be kind of a good place to come back from like a confidence perspective. I don't know what's in your head, but like it would seem that way.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Yeah, opposed to the next week going to Garmisch and being that my first race back. So yeah, it would be nice to race in Cortina. I think that would help my confidence for sure.
Okay, well, awesome. Thank you for wildly speculating with me about something happening 6 months from now.
Yeah, I know, really.
It's always great to catch up with you. And I'm so glad we could have you on the show again.
Yeah, thank you, Gabby. I appreciate it.
Big thanks to Jackie for being on the show. I love connecting with her, and I think she's going to do incredible things moving forward. So keep an eye on her for her comeback next season. That'll be hopefully by mid-January. Could be earlier because, like she said, she's hoping to push up that timeline. But before I sign off of this week's episode, I want to grab your attention for one more thing. Wisp Sports, who co-produces this podcast with Ski Racing Media, is running a Patreon campaign, and that's basically like a Kickstarter for podcasting. And Wisp is doing a lot to draw more attention to women's sports, not just ski racing, but everything from rugby to sailing to cycling. And it's really important to support initiatives like this because women in sport get so much less coverage than men do. And Wisp is doing really important work, I feel. So I'll put the link to the campaign in the show notes, and I hope you'll go check it out, become a supporter so we can continue doing things like this podcast. And as always, if you guys are loving The Inside Line, please leave a 5-star review of Wisp Sports Radio on iTunes. I also welcome any ideas for guests and issues you'd like to see discussed on this podcast. I am on Twitter and Instagram. My handle is Hall_Gabby. I look forward to hearing from you. I really, really do want you guys to reach out and let me know what you're thinking. It just really enhances the podcast. More episodes of The Inside Line can be found at wisports.com, skiracing.com, and on any podcast player. Just search for Wisp Sports Radio. Wisp Sports Radio is the world's largest podcast network for women's sport with a global reach of 1.8 million. For more conversations from the world of women's sport, visit us at wisports.com and follow us on social media at Wisp Sports and at Ski Racing Media. I will be back in 2 weeks' time with another episode of The Inside Line.